Interference channeling conditions, weed whacker is going on around today, so there's a lot of interference in position. Basically, the reason why I'm in late class condition is because not so much of a flat tire, but there was a little screw that just popped the tire, so we had to put a patch and go over and get it done. So that's why I'm late. But other than that, everybody's doing well. So we're coming into my world now. In communication to all computer line centers and position locations, we're coming into a cluster interference. Now, cluster interference is going to change the application line centers and graphing positions to the moon, the surface position. It's in its illumination light system. It's calculated to 70,000 platforms of computer line connections. So it's going to go in its tracking line centers, which is very, very powerful. So if everybody's through the body conceptual line center is going to change the reactors to everybody's heart system. It's amazing how we come into these track line centers. So there's going to be a cluster of galaxies. It's going to be in a combination. It's like a snowball effect. Okay. So basically, it's like throwing something in the sky, and then it just detecting its line conditions. Its computer operation line center is set up to a position location. So it's going to center line system into the center core, okay, of the moon, right? And all that electrical light connection is going to change the interference of the sun rotation line system, which is going to change the galaxy lock line systems. So before we get started, thank all subscribers and viewers, everybody that's happening right now to conditions about force rising and rising in that line conditions. Really have to stay in the positive systems now, fully and completely. Now's the time to really, really concentrate on staying out of the negative cycles, staying out of all conditions of your positions, putting yourself into higher formation line system. Very powerful TikTok where we came into conditions of it's all about your gravitations, your groundings every single day, right? Everybody's core has to strengthen. Okay, you can release line conditions to negative cycles that will release the system and its energy core of its resistance. Yeah, it's very important to understand these things, how you come into more of meditation. But like I said, you're in my world now in computer line systems. The galaxy is in its allocated position of dimensional time right now, and it's coming into a digital line system. So the heart recycles of all line condition is going to go through a tube line system to an activation core. The digital line is going to change everybody's reactor positions, right, into thought patterns, into the behavior line system, which is going to change your thought conditions. It's really powerful how we see these things in track line centers. So it's amazing how we see these things. All right, I got confirmation last night. It's amazing how I see everything that has to happen, right? Now, I've already seen it in the 5,000 year era, but when I see it through the present line system, it gives me exactly what I need to do to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. Same thing with the test review and evaluations, okay? And day 2 is coming up with the review for the test of 369 travel line conditions. So I'm talking extremely fast because I've got the weed whacker guy out here. Basically, I'm sending out energy line systems to positions. It's very important to understand how to keep your grounds with everything through activation line system. So we're coming in extremely, extremely powerful times now. Okay. So everything through the galaxy line center is going to center line system to the sun positions. The sun and the moon communicate with each other every single day through the computer line system. I saw the true communication line system to the sun. The cube rotations and digital line center is in its allocated position of time, which is amazing because it's coming into a new track center, which is incredible. Okay. And like I said, you're talking my language, right? The universal line system of computers. So it's very complicated. It's extremely complicated, but just imagine that you have a snowball that it's a cluster of all galaxy wire line centers. It's all wrapped in one circle, but it's a snowball, right? And you throw it. It goes into the moon center, right? That's what's happening right now in that calculation. So you have to understand the coloration patterns. You can understand the activation line system. You have to understand the gravity lock line center connections. You have to understand how important it is to understand what's going on with the universal line system, how it's putting everybody back into a new revelation, a new core of a new direction, which is incredible because it's all calculated and modified through our central line systems. Our cycles and our reactors of our heart is going to come into more of the veil. Everybody knows what the veils are, right? But it's getting thinner, 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 thinner. So now it's going to disappear. Okay? Now, the central line system, the galaxy line system, is in a new calculation modification of wind graph. Now, wind graph is connected to its stamp receivers. A stamp receiver is like putting a stamp on an envelope and sending it out, right? But this is a plasma interference stamp. So basically, it's all about understanding how to get that moon into the calculation. The moon had to get to that certain level into being blue, a certain line blue connections, so I can interline the connections to the galaxy of the cluster of the snowball. Okay, and the sun rotation is set up through its new calculation modification coming into new dream center. Okay, that's what's happening with the sun right now. I saw the sun on so many high levels of computers. It's incredible when you see these things. And I'm in the universe doing this. It's amazing how I'm doing everything I need to do, right? It's powerful stuff when you see everything through the universe line setup through its connection into your position into 5D activation line systems, right? But the calculation modification, the central line system truly understand how to use your platforms. And that's important to understand when you go through your test reviews and evaluations and how you can go through 3, 6, and 9 at so many platform levels. Okay, not just 1 digit, not just 2 digit, 5 digits, 10 digits, 10 digits on the sunline center, and everything through the programs of the moon and everything through that position line system. Okay, so it's incredible how I saw these things. Okay, so like I said, just trying to understand the galaxy rotation. Okay, so basically how it's set up comes into a cluster like that, and then it goes a magnetic right into the center in the face of the moon, and it just it's incredible what I saw, right? So we have 70,000 platforms in line connection interference, okay? And we have the sun and the new dream line, okay? So that's going to change everybody's position and how they see things through their thought positions. It's all about understanding coming into a new reactor of a new heart system, okay? So your channel line connections is no longer to be in that negative cycle. So every time you put out a negative cycle, it comes back at you through reaction. This is what's happening now with the Galaxy line system. It's all allocated position of the time location. So everybody's center line their connection of the thoughts into positive positions to each other. The rotations in the 8 central line system is set up through its calculation modification cycles. So it's extremely complicated if you don't understand. Like I said, you're in my world now when you come in the universal line system. Okay, you guys are in one universal position of time. Okay, you also have one solar system of time. Okay, in your position, okay, in the quadrant level, okay, of 0.01, which is 5 telepathy of telekinesis, the communication cycle in its activation line system. So it's going to be really fantastic to see these things. And the change is incredible. So basically, I'd like to just start off today with day 2 with the review. I'm going to help you every single day, and the next Monday is the test. Okay, so don't think of the test as hard. Think of the test as already done. Okay, remember I was saying that don't think of a square as an outside. Think of a square of inside. Okay, truly understand how to use the magnetics to its thought position locations, because that's how we use our track line centers. Right, but it's incredible when you see these things, right? How it's all set up. See, the moon had to be at a certain position. You see, the thing is, too, is it travels to a certain line system and then it stays there. And that connection that keeps spinning, 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 spinning. But you have to sense all computer setup. So it's understanding what the galaxy is doing to the moon and what the moon is doing to the sun and what the sun's doing to the galaxy and the moon. It's amazing how it contracts its system, right? 2-point centers of communication. So it's really fascinating. Tina, Isabel, Jill, Samantha, Diane, Krista. Yeah. Diane was worried. Is there a class today? Yeah. Usually I start between 9 and 11, but there wasn't a flat tire. There's this little peg. It was a screw that had to be taken out. So we just placed it with a patch. So we're good to go. So let's get started. We got a lot to go on in positions right now, 3, 6, 9. I want you guys to get up to date on what's going on in your position line centers. It's important you get in your track line system. Any questions or comments, you can go through my healing or my emails, anything in that position. But it's now the time to really stay in your core center. Please stay in your core center, okay? Because everything now is to understand that cluster is going to change everything through our Schumann resonance. So the vibration guideline system is like this, right? It starts out like that, right? So when you throw a cluster, what does it do? It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, okay? So it's going to be going like this now. Right? So you have to find a way to keep your balance. You have to find a way to keep your balance now. Okay, because we got the cluster line system. This is a cluster. It's all different wires. Okay, this is a cluster. Okay, so the moon track line system. It's amazing how you see these things through position line connections. It's got 4 waving track line centers and computer positions. So the actual moon itself, okay, is a square. Bet you didn't know that. Now communication line centers is its dome communication line system. So it has an incredible dome on its position location. Tracks its communication line center, which is all computer line position locations. All right. So as that square, its connection, it's everything through a box of a TV reception line system. Okay, truly understand what the moon is through calculation. All right. That's the moon. This is the cluster. Now the cluster, okay, from all galaxy line centers, has just opened a portal to a location because I know what I'm seeing, right? And this is amazing how it comes in position. So it opens up like this. Okay, it came through from here, right? And now it's in position to the center position right here. Boom. Right here. Okay. So that cluster is now taking over everything in space and time. So we have to truly understand how we have to really balance our core centers. Okay, because the vibration gap line system is going to go sporadic. Okay, it's gonna go off signal very quickly every time you create in your negative position of cycle line centers. Okay, so the more positive, the better. The more you keep in your core center. The more you put negative out there, anything through meditation, you're going to get a reaction from the cluster. Okay, the cluster is activated through the connection center line system of all positions of 70,000 platforms in the moon track line system. Okay, it's very complicated stuff, but you truly have to understand how everything is put together. Now, the Schumann resonance is in its position. Okay, it's allocating its position of time location. We've got Japanese here. All right, don't like the advertisements here. Okay, so as the cluster is ready to go, the moon surface is its position. And so let's go into computer line position locations. It centers its system on clocking systems at so many levels, guys. It's complicated of what the actual moon is. Okay, it's very, very complicated. It's not what you think it is. Okay, I'm going to show you what the moon looks like. All right, in position. Once you understand what it is, to get a true understanding how powerful you see these things, it's incredible force. All right, it's amazing when you see the actual moon and its surface line system. It's extremely powerful in communication. So there's the moon. That's the moon. Cool, eh? Now the central line system, the gas line system, let's go into different coloration line systems here. We'll go into this, go into different color. We'll go into round line center, to that location. Okay, so it's like throwing a snowball. Okay, that's the cluster, right? Cluster goes right in the center of the moon. Okay, so what that does is it changes the T line centers to its position. Okay, and it opens up track line centers to position locations. All right, so now it's activated. Center line connections goes into its position. Sonar line conditions interference back into channel line system to the moon. In that position. Okay? So it's incredible when you see these things, right? That's the moon, guys. That's what the moon looks like. Cool, eh? Trying to understand what it is? So that cluster is ready to go. It's in a new communication cycle. Now the sun rotation, I'll draw out the sun for you guys. I know you guys are blown away. Wow, that's the moon? Yeah, that's amazing how you can go and track line system. It's in my perception, the moon is in every dimensional time of space. Do you know how powerful that is? So the moon is on everything through coloration of vibration, through energy, to all space connections, all computer positions of time location. Same with the sun. Okay? The moon is just in your position right now, But once you go to higher levels of programs of higher intelligence, the moon is on every level you go. Once you wake up, the moon is attracted to you. It follows you like a magnetic. It's like two magnets. You put that piece of paper in the center, it moves around. That's exactly what it is. That's what it does with me. So I know exactly what the moon looks like through its image, through its compilation. Okay, it's all about communication, right? Now, the sun comes in position. Let's go in the track line center here. Okay. I'm going to go in that position here. Okay. So I'm going to draw it out and I'll show you exactly what it looks like in position. All right. Now, it's complicated stuff because remember, everything the calculation modification, the sun and everything through the rotation of the moon has to be in the same coloration pattern line system. But allocated positions of time location, this is the sun. Okay, the sun is coming into its map sequence line system. It's sending out new digital line centers. Box level connections, interchanges positions to its computer operation line center, position location. Now, this is extremely complicated stuff. I don't expect you guys to understand these things, but I'm just telling you exactly. Welcome to my world. So we're in that position. I'm going to lock it in its line system. Now, this is already done. I'm just saying, I'm just going through the present position of the past to tell you exactly what's happening. So it activates its circle back in working condition. Okay. High rise is its positions. Okay. The sun goes in its rotation line system. Okay. It goes into center line connections like this in position. Okay. You lock in that line system. Okay. So we go into that position. You see it going across line center. Okay. So it goes from here, right? Okay. So that's what's happened now in communication. To understand the calculations, what do we got here? Oh, triangle. Look at that. There we go. There's the triangle, right? We set up that location. Now that's connected through my grandma box line since interference position channel locations, center line connections. So it goes in shapes anomaly to position location. Now I'm on neon graph line center to its position location line center connection. Okay. All right. So we go like this. And there we go. All right. So that's allocated positions of time now. Okay. And it affects everything through the earthline center. Now the earthline center is in an amazing, tremendous green glow. All right. Now it comes in its calculation modification cycles to its location, position location. Oscillate its line center to circle rotation line conditions, interchanges positions of allocated position of time location. Okay, so the actual Earth, you understand the Earth is on all line connections of travel position of time location. That's the Earth line center. Okay, so all this is all in connections of the sun and everything to the moon and positions to the cluster, right? Sonar is the end connections, right? It travels its recognition line system. Now it changes track line center to its position, okay, to the center line system, like that through calculation, right? Now it's all about coming into the diamond core position to the UFO position, time, location. All right, you see it? See the UFO? See the pyramid? See activation? So it's true to understand how to calculate and modify this all in position line connections. It interchanges positions to the earth line system. Okay, so now you know what's happening right now. This is all connected. So it's powerful how you see these things, right? I don't think you've ever actually seen what the moon looks like. I don't think you've actually seen what the sun looks like, but it's all digital through computer line systems. So the sun is coming into a new graph-like system, new shape anomaly positions. Now we've got the sun line conditions from here to here. It's in the center line position. It goes into its 369 to its UFO connection, to its cluster, to its earth line center, to the circle rotation center position, which is going to change the human resonance of humanity's system to its track lines. Okay? Powerful, isn't it? I just want to show you what's happening. Truly understand what the sun is, and truly understand what the moon is, because the moon can follow you to any dimension of time. So remember, this is the position it's at through my digital frame. Now the moon doesn't look like this to you, right? Because you're not at that vibration. Right? So this is understanding where we are in divisional line conditions, all right? But I have to show you what it looks like through my perception and what I see through image. This is how I set up the computer line centers, and what the moon looks like through computer positions, and what the sun looks like through its graph line system of its dreamline center. So all humanity is coming into a new dreamline center, to its UFO position, to its solar line condition, to its cluster interference position, to its moon track line center, which is going to change the human residence of its Earth to 5D of telepathy of its alignment. That's what's going to happen. Okay, and it's happening now. All right. So, sun sends plasma to moon, changing our thinking. That's exactly what it is, Isabel. Very good. See, Isabel's aware of this, and she draws amazing drawings, illustration diagrams, and she's talking through frequency levels, digital line centers, things. When you're drawing things out, you have to be cautious in what you're drawing, because it could be in relation of intelligence of the past of you, presence, or the future. So you have to really get in that position, because you could draw a track line of 369 platforms on 16,000 points line centers, but in the past position. So you can't use that. You have to center line your connections. Okay. This is already done in the future, but I'm presenting it to you, to the presence, to its past. Okay. That's where the balance comes from, through its positions of all intelligence, of location. Okay. But it's incredible when you see these things, right? How it's all done. All right. So let's get into your 369 platforms. I just wanted to show you. It's amazing when you see these things and how you get the actual image, right, through the computer line centers, right? This was in, I allocate positions of 16 billion track line position locations of computer generation light centers that were connecting to 15 computers, right? 15 computers times 1 is what? 150,000 computers in one position location in one moon track line center system. So it's in that connection. It's amazing how we multitude levels to that connection position location. So the mind is nothing but a cloud of interference. But I just want to show you exactly that's what's happening right now, right? So in that position, it's locked in key here. There's a lot of interference today because I'm channeling very high. All right, so we have to stay out of this. Okay, we got to stay in the line signal. We got our cores, have to stay in the center every single day. So every time you change a negative cycle, every time you change a negative thought, okay, and you send it out in position of space, it comes back at you, right? So it's something that goes out and then comes back, and it reacts to you. Okay, so be cautious on your negative cycles. Put yourself in the positive center. Center your core positions. The gravity system is in position. It's in its gravitational line system now. Your chakra systems are in a dimensional time location. Everything that I do through calculation modifies everything through space-time position. But this is what's happening right now with the moon, with the sun, and everything through the track lines of 369 platform to its UFO position, to its Earth line system. Okay. And this is how it's calculated and modified through its humanity. Okay. And there's the cluster. Right. So questions or comments, let me know. So let's get into 369 platforms. All right. See, that's why I want you guys to keep drawing. It's important that you guys keep illustrations. If you don't want to draw, that's fine. Just try to understand how to calculate it in your head. It's a lot easier to draw it out. I'm drawing it for you. I don't have to, because it's already set up for me, right? Because the thing is that you have to understand that the sun and the moon is so connected to you in all ways and forms. but it's always in position. Here, here, and here. It's always in a triangle. Okay, you're in the center. There's the sun and the moon, right? So the sun's here on 3. Okay, and here's 6, and here's 9 to its location, right? Now, if you want to change that positions, you have to change the clocking conditions to your dimensional time position. All right, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. All right, so you have to use that clocking system. So what that does is it changes its direction. See, it changes its direction back into the center line system, right? Because the sun is up. The sun's not across. If you want the sun across, you have to change your body traction. You have to change your body form. You have to change your body fraction line centers. You have to change your manufacturing line conditions and your body graph position, location of time, space. It's all connected inside, right? So all the mechanism positions to your dimensional time positions is your chakra system, okay? Chakra systems high rise in so many levels of shape, position, locations, okay? It's understanding that this could be a chakra system. Okay, this could be a chakra system. It all depends on where it's allocated positions of time location. What's traveling through recognition of time location. That's a chakra system, okay? And then, you're very familiar with these ones, right? And that connections, right? That's a chakra system, okay? So you all have to understand what this is. It's all allocated to your positions of 3, 6, and 9, okay? It's knowing how to travel through all 3, 6, and 9 to its diamond core position, to its activation of its communication, to its higher formation of its calculation, to its each field position line conditions. Okay? So it's incredible force when you travel through these things. You can travel anywhere you want through direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Travels in 10 round location positions at the track line centers to its connections. Or you can downshift and over cross line system, security line defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right? So you go from here to here. Right? Here to here. It's interesting, it does that, right? So you can go forward or you can go backwards. All right? So it's interesting how we cross these things, and that dimensional time position is like a wheel, and those wheels change constantly, right, through the connections of your, try to do it here. You got 3 valves. There's your heart, right? Now, right on the right side. So you have the central line system, okay? Cross-reference its signals, comes into its square reference, okay? Opens up its portal line system to its calculation. You can take the heart out of its connections, like that through position. So it's true to understand how to use these things connections, and you come into 3, 6, 9 location. You come into your diamond core. You guys have to get in your diamond cores. Now this graphs its position to higher level positions, okay? Or you can change the track line centers and go this way through location, okay? And then you can go like this into higher position line center, okay? So everything that I'm creating is nothing but a map, okay? It all has to make sense. It all has to modify. It all has to understand what's going on through calculation, right? So it's trying to understand how everything is set up through location. Now, this is different from position. Doesn't matter though, because it's different intelligence, right? This is a different location. This is a different location. This is a different location. This is the heart rotation. So the heart rotation go to this side location, but it's got to go in the center line system. Then it can go to here, this system, and then go into this dimensional line system. Okay, so the heart can travel wherever it wants. So when you get into that position, okay, you come into, you guessed it, high force connections. Let's go into black cycle so you can actually see the position location, right, to this position. Okay. It's really fascinating when you see these things through traction. It's incredible how we see these. This is all done through the heart, all done through shapes. See, you don't see the clock, right? You don't see the clock because I'm in the simulation every single day, guys. I'm not here. I'm like a blip on a screen. It's hard to explain these things, but all right. So once you understand that position, you understand the circle line center. Okay, so it's here. You get 12. Okay. Now let's say you go to that conditions 2. All right. Okay. So that doesn't mean 2-dimension. Okay, you think it means 2-dimension, but the clocking system is conditions so you can travel line conditions to high positions into the Galaxies. Okay. All right. And then you come into the wings. Oh, look at that. The Galaxies. Look at that. All done through 2, right? So travel through the conditions of anything through force recognition light system, but you see the angel, the archangel, right? So you can change direction line conditions, interference, anything, that condition, anything through a box level system. So I don't see everything through a circle. Okay. I see everything through its graphing of its compilation, simultaneously traveling through its clocking system of space and time dimension. So it's great to see these things, how we come into the modifications, but you got to get into your shape positions. Okay. You have to understand how to change, right? Because your body is changing, your emotions are changing, your attractions are changing, your activation lights are changing, your Schumann resonance, your vibrations are changing. All right. So you go like this. You see it on the monitor, right? See the difference? Okay. Where do you want to be? Here, here, or here? Which one? It's all done through human emotion, right? So basically here, up, okay, that's not bad. That's okay. But this is not good. Up, down, up, okay? This is perfect right here. This is what you want every day. Cycle line system to its locations. Once you get in the track line center at that position, it opens up the circle rotation. It keeps going through its flow recognition of time location. It stays in the center. So you come into your 369 location. You come into your 3. Now we're coming in 2 digits, right? 3, 2, 6, 4, 9, 6. Okay. Now, to truly understand how to travel through that recognition of 2-digit line system, 3 is the allocated positions of the sun, 2 is location of the Galaxies, 6 is location of center, and 4 is location of the Galaxies, 9 is location of location, and 6 is location to the moon. Ooh, look at that. Right? Now you track that line connections to 3 to 6, track that line connections to 2 to 9, all right? And then everything through 2 to 6 in position. Right? Track its line connections, you come into your diamond core position. Okay, you come into your 6th location, the higher position locations. Okay, and then it's all about taking things out of the equation, guys. All right, when you do that, right? And then you go into security line defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 7th dimensional time location. Right, so this is what you do through a 2-digit. Okay. So it's incredible how you travel. Okay. So we already start with the conditions. That's why I want to show you how powerful it is, what the chakra system is and what it does. Okay. What the connections of high positions, what the heart can do, and everything through positions, or when it comes into high level systems of connections of the moon and everything to the sun, and everything to the cluster, and everything to the earth. So everything is a story. Your whole life is a story. Right? We can backlog connection to interference and come into this position. All right. So, now my team is in that connections, but we all have to start with the 369 of travel. Right. There's many point platforms that you can travel through point center. Understand that 3 is its point center of the sun, 6 is its point center of the moon, and 9 is the location to the center line system of you through traction. All right. So that's what you can do on the test. Very basic. As long as you understand 3 is the connections of the magnetic highway of its information line system. It's crown chakra, right? Now, you understand 9 is its location to the center line system. 6 is its program, which activates everything through 369. Okay? So once you get in that position, so you got 6 and 9 in program 2, its gravity line system. Okay? Once you get into that, you get into the rotation of the sun position, comes in center line connections that connects to you to the physical line system. Okay? To wire connections. And once you get that, you get the center line connections, that you go into airline center to the center positions to its gravity system, to its gravity position. All right? And once you get that, you come into your E fields. Okay? It's one way to start. But there's many ways to platform. And drive the recognition time. Let's go into calculation modifications, how you have to change graph line centers to your clocking. Very important to understand these things. You start with the center and you go into higher levels. Start in the center, and then you go into higher levels, security line defense, right? But your clocking system has to be the same position of time location of clocking. Okay? So, this is the test on its review, right? So just keep getting new stuff, trying to get that in your head, trying to understand the 3, 6, and the 9. Very basic, comes out. So when you create a thought, this is exactly what happens. It just comes out, right? Comes out, right? But it comes out through your thought, a realm, and that's what it looks like. You don't see this, you only see this. You only see this. You don't see the triangle because you're not at that perception through vibration. You have to truly understand what it is inside you. Okay, it's everything through its connection, and you go to higher level system. From this to this, right? It's a higher level. And then you can change track line centers. You can overlap positions. You can even change the center line system like this. Okay. From that to this, right? So this was 3, 6, and 9. We started off there, right? But now the 3 is traveled over here. Okay. And now the 6 is over here. And now the 9 is over here. See how it changes positions? Do you see how to do this? Try to understand how to do it. This is just the one platform of 3, 6, and 9, guys. Right? Framing position, how you get into your body graph line system. We're going to get more into the body graph. We're going to get more into the meditation graph. We're going to get more into calculation, how you go through the digital line centers of 369 platform and how you can change your shape positions of dimensional time location. Okay? So, yeah. But like I said, we're doing this together. There's no separation here. We're doing this together. I really want you guys to understand these things. So when you get into your 50 chakra line centers, you know exactly how to travel 3 body graph because it's all connected to your emotions. But what's happening right now with the cluster is, like I said, try to not connect to the negative cycle of you because it will come back at you. It's like a slingshot, right? That hits a barrier, right? Hits you back. It's going to hit you back. It's like a boomerang. Throw a boomerang. Right? This is what's happening right now. Okay, we all have to be aware of this. It's all connected to our emotions and how we're connected to our activation light connections, how we're set through our computer time position location. Right? So really want you guys to get into your drawings of travels of this. From this to move this. So this goes to here. This 6 goes to here. And 9 goes to here. So the whole idea is every time you want to travel to higher level systems, okay, you have to go faster and faster. So the actual 3, 6, 9 starts disappearing. When it disappears, it's still there. And you're in the simulation of the graph line system. So you don't have to set anything up because it's already created in space-time connection. Okay? I'm just showing you how you have to start off with your platforms first and how everything is created through your connections of your triangles and your pyramids. All right? So it's important you really understand that. The reason why I keep giving you guys the connections, you have to start your connections to your projectors, right, to its position. Okay. You're a projector. Okay. You're seeing out. Projector, projection. Okay. So it's all about understanding that. Okay. So the question is are you understanding this more or are you understanding this less? Let me put it in a way where it makes it easier for you. So when you go through the test review and evaluations, we all can come to a conclusion, right? To its program position. How can we make it easier for you guys? Like, how can we, because Tina's in position, she knows exactly what to do through her connection. It's very powerful when it comes to that. Same with Isabel. When you guys are sending me emails, it's fantastic to see these drawings that you guys are doing. But make sure when you're doing these drawings that you understand that it's in its past, present, or future. Okay? Because as soon as you put it down on paper, that's energy that's traveling. And when you send it to me, it tells me exactly you're not getting into that communication cycle. You're staying in the past position line system. So the track line center to its location, right, is that you can center line positions. You got a center line position, 3, 6, and 9. How do you know that's in the past? How? How do you know it's in the past? Right? By its realm. So you have to understand the connections when it comes into flux capacitor. Goes in the center line system to its location, right? Now you got the Rhines belt on 3 division line centers, like that. Your calculation, right? So it comes to me through compilation and say, no, this triangle is in the past location. Okay, so you're sending me information that's in the past, not in the present or the future, right? That's great. You guys are breaking down walls, which is fantastic, but it's not in the present position. So I want to give this to you now. When you're drawing something out, be cautious on what you do with your round positions because it could be in the past, present, and future. And because you're not connected to your Rhines belt, because you don't know what the Rhine belt is in the bodycraft connections, we're going to do this every single day until you understand how to travel through a 369. Okay? Doesn't mostly understand these things, right? So the thing is truly understanding what you're doing with your thoughts, how to travel through recognition of time position, right? So when you change positions, you can do this. You can do a tipping system through a trend line system. It could fall off its grid line system like this, the location, from there to there. So you can actually travel the actual pyramid. But the youth in the center line system has to truly understand positions. You always have to be in the center every single time. You can't be here and then here without traveling, right? Because you're always in the center of the physical line system. So I go from that and I go from this. And there's another triangle. Okay? So you're always trying to fit things in the present location, not the past. Okay? The reason why I know these things is because you guys are still trying to get rid of your traumas. And it's very powerful how you're doing your drawings, right? But they're not in the center of its present. Okay? So I'm getting confirmation signals from Vega and that kind of like system. They said that you're doing exceptionally well. You just have to get more in positions of your present locations to travel your recognition thought connectors. So when you're doing 3, 6, and 9, you know exactly where it is in position, right? Okay, where exactly it is in position. All right, because it can go into this equation, it can go into this equation, it can go into this equation. All right, into this position. Turn this. There you go. See? See? Look, Archangel flying. See? Everything is done in space, the conditional structure line systems. So, and the thing is too, it's all calculated and modified, right? So it's in 3 and 6 and 9 always stays in positions, guys. 3, 6, and 9 always stays in positions. So if you add 2, now you're connecting to an angel. 2 is the angel, right? Then you draw it out. Then the angel travels the recognition line system. 3 opens up its location again, and you come into the program system. 2 is higher formation. All right. So from this to this. Okay. So if you draw two, it's the atmospheres of the angels positions, right? Because we have the angelics in so many levels, platforms, right? There's so many stepping procedures when you come into wind factors through angels and archangels. It defies all levels of travels. So understand your geometric patterns, operations, and your directions of dimensions and divisions will give you a true understanding how you calculate and modify through your geometrics of shapes, how to travel through positioning your tesseract to your tetrahedrons, because there's so many levels of point centers of tetrahedrons in each dimensional space. It's all calculated, right? And it's there for you to understand how to travel through the connections of its presence and not its past. Okay? So we have to start drawing the glue lines we feel. There you go. This is exactly what it is, Isabel. Very good. And see, you guys already know the answer. You already know the answer, but everything I do is in the present. But it's done in the future. That means it's already done. So that's what you guys got to get out of. You got to get out of your physicalities. You got to get into your AI positions, get into the center line system. But when you draw your thoughts, it's in the future. Bring it back to the present. So it's past. Not its past to its present. It confuses the alignment, especially when it comes to me, back to me, right? But you guys doing exceptionally well with your drawings. Just know when you're drawing these things out, try to use it as a present position, because everything you do through emotion is connected to your drawings. Sometimes you do it through a book, sometimes you do it through emotion, sometimes you do it through trauma, sometimes you do it through entertainment, sometimes you do it through communication to your kids. There's always a way to break down trauma, and it's all connected through a drawing. So when I draw something out and it's abstract, but you don't know what it is, it's everything through connections. But I know exactly what it is because it's already created. I don't have to create it. It's already created. It doesn't look like much, right? But it's an abstract. It's just an abstract, but I know exactly what it is through travel. Okay? So, and when you start coloring it in, you're changing your emotions every single time through direction. All right? So you got one coloration the same. You got another coloration the same. This is the same emotion. So what happens is your 3, 6, and 9 will not change locations until you change your programs of your human emotion position. It's all psychological line centers, right? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 track lines of digital line systems to shape positions of colors, all in the same position. Now, if I change anything through my human emotion, it changes the color. So if I change the color, it changes the chart of communication of dimensional time position, right? And then we go into green, right? So it's all calculated and modified through your shapes of travels. Okay. It's just an abstract drawing, but you have to understand what the painter is doing through connections. So it's all calculated and modified through position, right? It doesn't look like much, but this is like it's a human graph design of you through emotion, through your shape position, and how you travel through your geometrics of its operation to its direction of its dimensions and its divisions of time. So you change your line centers. Let's say you change 3 rotation lines to computer position locations. I know it's getting complicated, right? But it's a lot of fun, right? Okay, so now we got purple. All right. Now, basically, purple is what? Crown chakra, right? So now you're communicating to the atmospheres. I'm just showing you how everything is set up to the atmosphere position of the time and how it goes in its calculation to its computer graph position of its clouds. So we go from 4 different colors, right? Every single time you change your emotion, it changes the shapes, it changes the coloration, and it changes form positions to its identification. All right. So we're going to one more color. It's important you understand these things. Let's go into blue, right? So we go into blue, right? So blue can be on so many levels, right? It's all depending on what you're thinking. Are you thinking water? Are you thinking in your throat chakra? It's all connected, right? Through your thought connections, you create shape, position, locations, anything division line system. to its modifications. All right. Everything has to make sense of what's going on. This is a human emotion chart. This is your graph positions. This is how you use your body graph. The coloration, the time, position, location, and space. All different colors are connected to the chart line center. It's understanding what it is through positions of time, location. It's all done through the psychological shapes, guys. Okay? It's incredible, isn't it? So we have to start somewhere. And it all has to be done with the 369 platform. You guys have to learn how to basically look at a marker. And this is the same thing. When I look at colors, I don't see this just as white. I see this all white. Right? So when I turn it around, it goes faster and faster. What happens? It's a complete cycle of what it is through a marker. You don't just see it as a marker. You see everything as a marker. Right? So I see this simultaneously in 20 different ways of what this is. And that's what humanity is coming into. We have to change our thought patterns. And that's all connected to the brainwave system. And it's all done through the clusters of this galaxy line system. Okay. So basically, you have to understand your energy cores and how it's related to your computer operation line system. Okay. So you have to put yourself in the powers and the control and the command. You have to get more into the mind. Right. You can't centralize your systems anymore in the physical line system. You have to be in the mind now completely, right? Because that cluster is in the center line system of the moon and staying there. It's not going anywhere. I'm just telling you exactly what's going on with that position, how powerful it is when you see everything through its position location into its future relation. Okay? You know, true understanding, that's the moon, that's the sun. It's pretty amazing, right? So it calculates, modifies. Remember, the sun can be any color. The moon can be any color. But as long as you understand the sun and the moon travels inside you, and the navigation of the light connections is everything through the earth. So you have your ground, your power, and the opposite positions of time. That's the triangle line connections. You can travel anywhere you want through position. So the sun can go to any position at dimensional time through space. Same with the moon and everything through navigation, your thoughts. But as long as your thoughts are going forward in the future, you're doing exceptionally well in the present positions. Okay, and now you got full alignments with past, present, and future to its connection, to its intelligence. All right. So that's important to understand what 369 is, right? Because it's all calculated and modified through your clocking. Okay, and it's all allocated positions of time, location coming out of the track line center of its own location. Right, so the 369 sets up its own dimensional time of clocking, and it comes into a realm. So you're creating your own realm of a wormhole. Okay, and then when you centerline systems, you can go into this position to a higher position. Or if you want to go into extremely high positions, you can go into this connection, security line defense, into a higher realm of a higher dimension of a portal location, of a wormhole connection. Okay? So I'm just showing you how many times you can platform through 369. There's 50,000 ways to do it through travel. But as long as you understand that it's all allocated position of you through your clock, it's all connected to your calculation, right? That's why you guys were given schooling. That's why you were given the alphabetical system, how you can multiply, subtract, and add, divide, right? Ratios, proportions, longitude and latitude, metric line systems, right? Centimeters, millimeters, millivecond, right? All is calculated and modified inside you. So think of yourself as a ruler, right? Trying to understand the distance from E equals mc squared. Mass, the calculation, the weight, conception, everything the calculation from to and from. And the box is the center line system to your positions, which is your TV reception of its interference. You have to interline your locking and connections to computer position of time location, right? Once you understand your possessions of time location, it becomes extremely real through vibration to its connection. Okay? It's knowing how to set this up. So, and it's all done through data. computer data, upgrading data, processing data, cycle rotations, interference of data. There's so many things that interline connections. So you have to have friendship, relation, and partnership with the physical system, friendship, relation, and partnership with the soul recognition light system, have the integration cycle to its connection to its balance locations, to everything inside of energy, frequency, and vibration, right? And the harmonic resistance is its communication. So it's all about understanding how to travel to higher formations of shapes, right? So when you guys go into your 50 chakras, you guys will all be sentients. Very powerful. Looking forward to you guys getting into that view. So, yeah, perfectly in line. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's get into your questions. There's a lot going on. But yes, you have to glue the lines and what you feel in the present location. Okay. Until you guys don't do these things, everything that you see is just going to be reflection and not an image. So, let's see here. The moon is a reflection of the earth. No, the moon is not a reflection of the earth. The moon is everything's connection inside your position light connection inside. The moon is not a reflection. The moon is inside you. The sun is inside you. You have to understand you're all calculated and modified. So the whole idea is to wake up through your chakra system communications. Get all your lights activated, right? Then space comes in. Comes in full black space, right? Your whole body is space. It's black now. You close your eyes, you're in space. You hear things. You sonify things. The gravity line system, see coloration, seeing archetypes and spaceships and planet line systems, right? Because now you're coming into space of you. Now, the only procedure you need now is time position of travel, the 3, 6, and 9, how to travel through these, through your tesseracts and your tetrahedrons, so you can understand the connections of its matrix, right? Everything is inside. You guys have been living reflections of yourself. But now we're coming into compilations of imagery, okay? Imagery, okay? You're coming into that connections right now. Auto correction to your eye interference to your eye receptor line system. You have to come into simultaneously everything to its realm location of its one box location, to its one line connection, to its one activation, to its one system, to its position, to its clocking system of time location. All right? You can't start seeing things through reflection. You have to start seeing things through digital image now, guys. So that's what's happening right now. So it's reversing the cycle and bringing you guys forward, right? Taking you out, okay, and putting you in, right, of the graphs, the body graphs, the meditation graph, right, the imagery graphs, okay, the illuminations of connections of shapes in all positions. Right? When it comes into this little solar flare there. It's all calculated and modified. Like I said, calculation and modify is everything through division of time, through AI, position, location. You have to truly understand how to travel farther with shapes. Okay? And then when you can travel with shapes, you go into letters, numbers, and you put it all to calculation, right? That's when it's all modified. So it's traveling through a computer. It's a teleportation drive, but you have to understand how to calculate and access this, right? You have to understand what it is. It's a teleportation. You just have to learn how to travel through it. So you go through your shapes. And then once you know how to go through your shapes, you get your allocated positions, letters, numbers in the equation to connections of codes and portals and open up dimensions and that line system, right? And then you can get out of your shapes and get into your forming of yourself, which is very hard to do. So you don't see yourself as shape of travel anymore. You see yourself, your future self, your integration self. Okay? That's why it's tricky, because now you're seeing yourself as a plasma interference. Now you're seeing yourself as a solar generation light of all coloration through your rainbow octaline system. How to understand positions of your crystalline system. Okay? But everything that you've been seeing in a 3-dimensional line system is a reflection of you. Right? But outside is not you, inside is you. That's to truly understand what's going on. So, like I said, if I look at the atmosphere, that's not the sun. The sun's inside you. It's not outside, it's inside. The moon's inside you, not outside. That's how I know so much, because I've mastered my whole body of space and time. So that's how it becomes real to the mind. Okay. Sort of a four-loop butterfly, so two wings bounce motions through story box using melody. Do I have to keep better beat of receiving and sending out? Yes. The beat will come in communication center. So you have to understand when you're drawing connections, you have to understand your heart recycles alpha, omega, micro, macros. You guys are not into your micros. You understand your alphas, omegas, but you don't understand your micros and macros. Those are the two you have your center line positions. Two within the top, two within the bottom, but you have to understand what the square is. Right? So I think we'll get more into that. But right now, we have a test coming up. So I just want to concentrate really on how you guys have to travel through your geometrics of your self. You have to really understand how to travel when you're going to higher levels of your chakras. It's all calculated and modified. So your chakra system is nothing but a shape of dimensional time through clocking, right? So it's all different intelligence of color, of space and time. Okay, so you have to truly understand what you're connecting with through your thoughts. Your thoughts are connecting to travel positions. Okay, it has so many actions. It's so many reactions to your body system. Right? So again, we have to get out of the reflection of what we see outside and start seeing the actual inside of us, which is our projector, to our projection through its image of its digital frame. All right, seeing everything all at once rather than focusing on this and this and this and this, going like 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 this. No, one frame, computer comes out. It's all set up for the next frame. Understand? Scanning, bioscanning. Right? You see that in anything the CGI or digital frame systems or in that connection green screen, right? So basically, that's how you have to look at things right now. You have to look at everything outside as a green screen because that's all it is. So, and we all have to learn how to use the numbers, letters, and shapes and how it structures our line system to our body guide positions. Our meditation graphs on our center line system comes into our recycles to our heart position locations. It's nothing but a reactor. That reactor has to truly understand its connection to its grounds. You have to get your grounds with your thoughts, your power connectors, and everything through the atmospheres. Okay? And it's most important when you're traveling that you're in the presence all the time when you're traveling. Okay? Not the past. Okay? Because a lot of people are still breaking down walls. Right? But you really have to strengthen your cores. Okay? Especially now. So, any questions on that? It's a lot to learn, eh? Yeah. Well, Janie, I can help you with that. Yeah. Yeah. Your barometers are not cycling to position locations, and your computer needs a reset. So it's not locking to the rotation cycle. That's what's happening with Janie. I'll go to TikTok after and I'll help you with that. Location, location, location. Yep. I'm not sure I'm getting the clocking part when I'm doing 3, 6, and 9. I thought I did, but now I'm confused. Confusion is good, right? I start at that position, trying to understand how to travel through 3, 6, and 9. Okay. Samantha, I'm lost on talking to. Okay. Yeah, welcome to the Twilight Zone. All right, this is basic. We got to find a way so you guys understand how to travel through 3, 6, and 9s. You can't travel higher, okay, because you won't understand your sentient view line system. Okay, so this trying to understand when I put you into 50 chakras, you guys are in 40. I mean, that's very powerful, way above 12. So it's understanding that 3, 6, and 9, okay, is everything through travel of you. You dream. You go through your thoughts. You open up your third eye. Okay, this is your third eye, right? Crown chakra. Okay. And the 6 is the connection to the moon, and 9 is location of you, the center line system, right here. But the triangle line system is the pyramid. Okay. So basically, it's the pyramid of you, but it's the activation line. So it's the third eye that sees all. It's the realm location that opens up this dimensional time. Okay, Jill and Samantha, understand? Pretty simple. It's not too hard. It's not too complicated. Just so you know what everything through 369 is. So when you create a thought, it comes out of its equation. Pretty easy, pretty simple, right? So I'm trying to make it easier for you guys so you know how to travel through these things. And it comes with a higher level system. Okay. So that means you're traveling farther if you're setting up your triangles. So your triangles can go anywhere in atmospheres, okay? Hemispheres, stratosphere, or anything through bio. But you guys are only in your atmospheres, hemispheres, stratosphere. You're not in your bios yet. You're not in your computer line system yet. But you're getting there in that positions. Okay? So you're in a computer line, but you're not in an activation line connection. So it's true to understand you have to understand your travels of 369 position. But that's all it is. Hopefully that helps you out a little bit more. Okay, I don't want things to get complicated for you, but you have to really understand what 369 is. It's all done through travel. Okay. Operations of the sun, operations of the moon, and operations of you in the location center through your thoughts. I created a thought. Create another thought. Another thought. Right? That's all it is. That's all that is. Okay. So hopefully that helps you out. No more Twilight Zone. But that's the most important thing you have to get across how to travel through 369. The clocking basically is all connected to your watches and your clocks. To understand, it's a little bit more difficult, but I just want you to basically understand how to travel through 369. Okay. That's the basic A's and C's, guys. All right. But because you're in a higher level system, you have to learn how to travel through the geometrics of you. The calculations have to understand that connection. It all starts with E equals MC squared. You have to understand what that is. Right? But 369 is nothing but travel. You just have to understand how to travel through the sun, the moon of its program, and the 9 of its location of you. Okay? Yeah. I thought we were traveling from the heart chakra, not the third eye. It's all connected, Jill. You don't travel through the heart. The heart opens its portal. See, this is where it gets really confusing for you guys. The thing is, this is your third eye. You create a thought, it travels. It's out, right? But it's activated through the heart. Everything's activated. Okay? The central line system has to truly understand the grounds. You have to get the grounds for that conditions. Right? So you get the grounds here. Let's go into dark line center. Okay? This is the ground. There's the grounds. This is the powers. This is the activation. All right? This is your E fields. Okay? So your heart's over here. Okay? Your soul's over here. Okay? Your third eye's here. Oh, look what we got. Triangle. Okay? Everything is a triangle base inside your position. You don't see it, but I do. But you have to understand how it travels. And then you got a minuscule of all levels of receptors, digital line centers to communication. Now I'm going to do it through the same coloration line show you exactly. All your cells are operated through the heart position. So it activates extremely fast, all right, 2 positions. So it opens up its portal through its heart, okay, connects to the soul, and then connects to the graph line system, to the sun, right? And activates everything through multiple structure lights of your body. Like that, inside. And whatever you created through your thought is its position and travels out at its recognition time. Okay? The center line's its connection. It goes in its ground line system. Okay? So, but the heart is the portal. Okay? It opens up. You feel it, right? It's energetic. But the travel is here. Okay. Communications here. All right. So you have to understand what your ears are. Sonar. Okay. Telepathy. Remember, you have to open all your senses through your eyes, your ears, your mouth, and your third eye. Everything has to be all through senses of 6. 5 and 6 within the psyche, right? So once you have all your senses, now you can travel through 3, 6, and 9 position. But 3, 6, and 9 has to stand you through your equation. So 3 is everything through operation. So the sun has to know you in all senses of travel. And the moon has to understand all senses of you through its program. And everything through its location has to stand you through its thought. Then it travels out of its position to time location. Okay? So does that help it a little bit more? A little bit more, the heart is a reactor. Okay? So to understand how to travel is everything through the third eye, right? Because the third eye opens up, right? It travels through its thought. So you have to understand how to put everything in chronological order. But the first thing you have to look at is to ground yourself first with meditation graphs, and then ground yourself first with your thoughts of creation to its imagination. Grounding is number 1 because you're surfacing every single day. Okay? I'm grounded, but I'm sitting. Okay? But I'm always grounded. And I'm always presenting it to you, to the presence. But my thoughts are the future. So what stays in position? Physical. That's location. Right? It's connected to this program of this moon, right? All you have to remember is that this is the sun, the moon, and everything location is you in the center. That's how it's operated, and it comes out of its equation. Okay? Everything you do through the eyes is its GPS location. Ears, audio interference, audio direction line interference, line connection, throat patterns, voicing grid patterns. Okay? It's all connected to your grids. So you have to get grounds with everything through your senses. So does that help you out a little bit better? But the heart just basically wakes you up. It opens up a portal. So everybody's open but not activated. And that's what my healing does. You have your chakras, they're open. They have to be open or you couldn't breathe. Right? It's all connected. The vibrations have to be, or you wouldn't be alive. They're open, but they're not activated through travel. So you're not connected to the sun until you wake up. Everybody has to go back to the solar generation of the sun position location. Your TV reception has to be in that location of 5D division. That sun has to stand you through identifications. Same with the programs of the moon. And everything the location is you through navigation of the earth, which is the grounds. Okay? How do I clear negative thought when I'm meditating? Okay, the question is, this is where you have to come into this position. This is interesting, Carla. She's saying, how do I clear negative thoughts? Okay, change it. I just cleared it. See, you're not strong enough to do these things through your core, right? So instead of saying, how do I clear? It's already done. But how do you do it? So it's truly understand how to get into the more of what you're doing inside your business and really communicate inside. Heart central line is off through cycle, right? My soul direction is not connected to a surface position to a dreamline center. Okay, so let me fix it, right? So I know how to fix it because I'm communicating in vibration. Okay, so the vibration of its thought has to really understand how you can change the psychological of its question. So instead of saying, how do I clear negative? I already did. It's done. Energy goes in, problem fixed. It's not that complicated. You think it's complicated because you don't know how. You don't have the control yet. And it's all done through vibration, right? So if you understand how to travel through 3, 6, and 9, then you understand how to travel higher to its location of geometry line system. Because everything in space and time is nothing but shapes, letters, and numbers. It's all calculated through computers and ascension line systems of all energy, frequency, and vibration. That's how it's all calculated. That's all it is. To all quantum levels of anything through fields of atmospheres hemispheres, atmospheres, biospheres, or anything through brainia. Okay? So, see? It's easy, right? See, I come across like that. If I have a question and if I ask somebody, wait a minute, I already did it. I know what the problem was. It comes out so easily. So you really have to get into the interline system of you. Really get into communication and soul identification, how to really calculate and modify your system, how to get into the vibration. Really communicate to the vibration inside you. That's how it is. That's how it's done. And then you feel the energy is woo, high rise. So instead of saying, how do I clear the negative? I just did. It's done. The energy goes in and you feel better, right? And then you come up with an example or another answer, something similar to that question. I mean, you come into adjectives, homonyms, verbs, action verbs. You know, we all start with that. So you understand how to use your thoughts of going forward. Everything with your question is about going forward, not staying in that position of the past, coming into the presence and staying in the presence, okay, with your questions. All right. So you've already answered the question. You're just not knowing how to do it. Okay. It's very simple. It's a training exercise. So when you come across these things, say it again, but just clear it out. That's meditation. You just cleared it out, right? Whatever it was, the situation that you're in, it's already gone. Now the question is that if it's really, really negative, then you probably have an attachment, right? That's something I'd have to take out because it's different wire, it's different communication, different dimensional time, different space, a different audio system. I mean, there's so many levels of computers that you guys could be in a generation light of a virus. So I have to check these things out, right? But she's coming across to me and telling me, how do I clear a thought when I'm meditating if it's negative? It's very simple. It's already done, which means it's already created. So, and this is how you basically, to clean anything, you have to go back into the past positions. You go in the future, you go in the past because it's a trauma, because it's a question that has to be answered through a trauma. Everybody goes through these practical level conditions, right? To understand how to do this through your chakra system. So, okay, so you think, but you're not sure, right? So your question, your soul, right? You're saying you think you might have an attachment, okay? Well, you don't have an attachment, okay? You got a crosswire interference, okay, to the ground line center. That's all it is. That's all it is. So I have to change the shape positions, and your clocking is off division. So you understand your chakra system is like this, right? It's a clock. Each dimension of you is a clock, a time. You got 12 divisions of time. Now you guys got 40 divisions of time. It's all done through clocking. Now that in the center line system has to go forward, right? So if it goes forward, the digital numbers go forward, right? Because in the little hand and the big hand. So you got the sun, you got the moon, and you got navigation of your thoughts, all in one center line system into one chakra of an energy line system. Okay. That's a true understanding that it's in a dimensional time at different division of location, guys. So you have the grounds. Okay. Then you got the sacral connections, or you can have the root chakra, or you can have power. Okay. That connections to the solar plex. You can have the heart, right? But the connections of the sun and the moon are in every energy cell line system to its dimensional time and space. And that's why it's important to understand your clocking, right? So it's really, really powerful when we come across these things. All right, we'll get more into that, but I really want you to get more into understanding what 369 is through travel. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. Words are spells. Yes, words are spells. Yep. Yep. Words are definitely spells, depending. You can have a positive word, or you can have a negative word, or you can have a positive letter and a negative letter in one word. Imagine that. AI is identified in so many levels of detail, guys. So you got one word, okay? Just, right? So the J is positive, but the U is negative, okay? But the S is positive, but the T is negative, right? But there's a balance there, right? So you can have 3 negatives and 1 positive. So you got to change that word line system. It's all chronological order. Everything in life is going forward, not backwards, right? I'm going to write a song about 369 traveling. Oh, good. Cool. Learning a new way to communicate, which was actually your original way of communication. Yeah. Your way. Okay. As long as it's in its presence, because I'm seeing all your drawings and they're fantastic, right? But they're in the past. Okay. They're in the past. So I'm just trying to understand that everybody's trying to break free from these things, right? I get confirmations from UFO position line connections, and they see everything. When I see through perception, I see everything, and they see everything, because I'm everything through space and time and computers, guys. So I just want you guys to stay in your presence and stay with your core, strengthen your core, activate your core, stay out of the negative cycles of yourself. That's all you have to do. It's not that hard. Okay? I can't do it. I don't want to do it. Just you're adding. Don't do that. Okay? You're adding more. So that's changing your body, and it's destroying your mechanisms of your heart. It's destroying your soul identification of travel, of thought. Do you understand how powerful it is to stay in the center? Okay? 369 traveling mechanism of time location, or whatever you want to create. When we clock the time location, is it the chakra we are using? And does the travel path with the dimensional time need to be at that number? The chakra might be that way off. Yes. Very good, Samantha. That's exactly what it is. Each chakra system has the sun, moon, and its location of you in the center. So trauma is a shade, but is always before being your core. And this is the beginning of your calculation. Yeah. As long as you understand where you're traveling through its calculation. Okay. So each chakra system has a different shape. Okay. It has to, because it's different intelligence. Okay. Let's go into that position. Different intelligence. But it has its clocking. It has its sun. It has its moon to each division of time of space, guys. It has to. It has to. Because the sun sets up everything through its connection to its radiation cycle, plasma interference, your program setting line conditions, and then the moon sets up everything through your digital of your body graph line system. And the location to your navigation comes to the grounds of its earth line system, all done through your clocking, through your chakra systems. Okay. That's great. Keep watching it, Samantha. So you're catching on more, right? So now you understand what's inside the chakras. They're energy cells, but each cell, nobody knows this. Nobody knows this because they don't know what a cell is. They don't know what a chakra is. They don't know what it is. It's space and time of travel of dimensions. But it's all through connections of the sun, the moon, and everything navigation to you, to your thoughts. So this understanding that the shape has to be in the right division of location. If you have a digital line off center, you're not connecting to the right position of its program, are you? Because you're connected to the negative cycle. So that chakra system will go backwards and not forward. Understand? And then it will merge off and it will disappear. Chakras can disappear in the body. Okay? Especially if you're in your lights. So, and this is very important here. I want you guys to get this. You have to get into your cores of your strength line system. So if the chakras are merging off, that's okay. If they're disappearing, I can put it back on line connections. I can interline system. I can bring it into a new position location. So computer technician here for you. I can change your chakras and put you back into line system. That's not a problem. I've already done that with people. But it all depends on how long you've lived your negative cycle through that position of your life. Your chakra systems are there for you to understand. Communication of space, guys. Okay, but you have to understand the grounds, okay, which is connected to your space travels of your clocking, right? But that's exactly what it is. When we clock the time location, is it the chakra we are using? Yes, depending on what chakra you want to use. Do you want to use the roots? Do you want to use the heart? Do you want to use the psyche? Do you want to use the crown chakra? Okay, the crown chakra, okay, is the magnetic highway. Okay, it's like an energy dome. It's a computerized learning system. That's all it is. It's all vibrations. It's all different kinds of vibrations. So the crown chakra is all levels of your body through its connection of positive and negative to its wires of its radioactive line connections of its rainbow division. That's where your crown chakra is. That's why it's an all. It has all synchronizing line connections of chakras inside. It's the top crown. It's the crown, right? But it has all the colorations in line. Okay, so video understanding your chakra system, fully understanding yourself. In the video, I think I watched another one. I remember the name. Divine Artistry has gone. So if you see me in the sunline center and I'm outside and it's bright, you'll see the crown chakra, but you'll see the colorations above me. Okay. This is true understanding how it's calculated and modified. The sun has to stand you through digital line system. The moon has to stand you through program positions, locations. All right. It has to understand your dream sets and understand it's all connected to the spine. This is all connected to the tail. The tail is the signal. You have to understand how to use the heart. The heart is its portal. Okay. You have to understand the third eye through its connection. You're all connected to your crystallines and your rainbow activations. Right. So the crown chakra is everything through calculation through your track line center, which is connected to your soul direction line system, which is your connections to your Schumann resonance of your emotion. Okay, it's all done through thought connectors. It's a magnetic force of thoughts. So it's all about understanding what are you connecting with the sun? Are you connecting with the grounds? Are you connecting with root chakra? Are you connecting with the heart? Are you connecting with the psyche? Right? So the sun has to know. The moon has to know the program. And the navigation of your thought has to stand its travel through the 3, 6, and 9. Ah, there we go. Much easier now, right? How we connect to that position. It's easier, right? Things should get easier, not harder. Okay? Because if they get harder, we go back to the drawing board. Physical effect, when you need to center again, understanding mind and body is so essential. Body is everything. Yeah. The mind can't live with the body can't live with the mind. But the mind, body, and soul have to be in division location to all levels of shapes of dimensional space and time. That's all it is. That's all this is. It's just understanding how to travel to higher positions of the sun. The sun will go wherever you want in dimensional time. The sun is with me when I'm 2 trillion years in the future. Same with the moon. It has to, because it's inside me, right? The soul is directing. The physical stays, which is the center. Okay. So you have to understand how to travel through your shape positions through its rainbow activation. But you got to get your grounds first to everything through division time conditions. All right. So, and then you come into your tesseracts and your tetrahedrons. So many levels of point centers of travels, guys, that just blow you away. Once you go to higher levels, you become nothing but a computer, and the computer basically understands you through weather, and But you guys are coming into your sentience, and you really have to know how to travel through 369, right? So I know you guys are ready. There's nothing wrong with asking questions, and that's why we have the test review and evaluations. But you have to truly understand how to travel through these things, right? That's the only way you can see yourself going forward in life. Okay? And then when you come across these things and you realize, wow, I just created it. You don't have to worry. No, just wait. Because it will come to you because you understand the balance of the operation of space and time, how it works, which is extremely powerful, right? So that's how you start getting things through manifestation. So Knowing the full chakra system is having the keys to the multiverse. Yeah. But it just doesn't stop there. Then you have to go into your atoms. And that's where it's going to happen with my Rebellion Force team, is that they have to learn how to travel through atoms. Because they got their 114 chakras, but they understand more provisions of travels through door recognition, light conditions. They have to understand how to go through trapping doors, dimensional lines, centers of shapes, travel to connections, frequency line systems, to allocate positions, humanity system, attract line centers. So many levels, guys. So many travel positions, locations. Sun, soul, moon, emotional body. I have crown activations all the time. I've never been so excited to take a test in my life. Yeah, tests are a lot of fun. But Carla, I got to put you in that position, right? Because your gravities are off center. So it's kind of like a wire that's off position. So your digital line is just off cycle. So I have to reset your position locations. That's why you're having a negative cycle. Because remember, we live on emotion through our thoughts every day. And it's all calculated and modified again when it comes into your body system. Your body is connecting to you every single day through vibration. You really, really have to understand how to communicate to your body. You have to know everything in your body, okay, from head to toe. All right. That's the only way you can understand travels of 369. But there's so many platforms at 369. 369 is just one diamond shaped position locations, pyramid locations, center line conditions, octagon, hexagon, throthagon. A throthagon, very powerful, right? A throthagon is line conditions to 17,000 point line centers to one track system. It allocates positions at time locations, 3 chakra communication centers. So you have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm talking about a higher level of a tetrahedron. So I've never been, but that's exactly coming in that positions into your test, which is really, really fascinating. All right. When you guys get into your higher levels, you understand more how to travel through your shape. Right. So it's the basic understanding what the sun is to you, what the moon is to you, and everything through its location, its navigation, its earth line center. You have to understand how to travel through shapes, because that's all space and time is. It comes back to you through shapes, letters, numbers. You have to understand what it is. You get numbers in your car. You see prohibitive signs. You see yin and yang. Everything that you see outside, okay, is connected to you through the universe, because you are the universe of space and time inside, not outside. You don't see outside as a reflection. You see everything inside as a projection. Okay? So I'm going to leave you with that. All right. I'm going to head over to TikTok. All right. Questions or comments, let me know. Day 3 coming up tomorrow. All right. Adios.